Okay, week 3. This is going to be video 2. We're going to do the muscles of the posterior leg. I'm going to start up here, if you want to orient yourself. This is the gluteus medius here, and the piriformis. Right here would be the back of the coxal bone, and we'll have here the ischial tuberosities would be right there. And out of those, we're going to have a couple muscles come off. This first one right here that comes out to the lateral leg will be the biceps femoris. It is a biceps, so it has two heads. The first one comes here it originates at the ischial tuberosity. The second one is underneath, and you can't quite see that from here, but it begins in the linea aspera. It comes along this way and will insert into the lateral epicondyle of the tibia. This one, along with these two, are known as the hamstrings of the back of the leg. And all of them will do the same action. They will flex the leg, bringing the leg backwards, and they will also extend the thigh, bringing the thigh backwards. On this opposite side, on the medial side, again, starting from the ischial tuberosity, coming here, superficial, we will have the semitendinosus. And it comes here to a very sharp point here, that becomes a tendon, and that will be your semitendinosus. It inserts into the medial epicondyle of the tibia. Directly beneath it, we have the semimembranosus. Again, it begins in the same place, ischial tuberosity, and inserts into the medial epicondyle of the tibia. It has the same action as the biceps femoris. It flexes the leg, bringing it back, and extends the thigh, bringing it back. And those are all the ones that you'll be responsible for knowing in the back of the leg. If we move further down the leg and replace this muscle here, these two larger muscles here are known as the gastrocnemius. They begin at the condyles of the femur, right here on both sides, and they will insert into the calcaneus, this first tarsal back here on the back of the foot. Its action, once it contracts, is to do plantar flexion, bringing the calcaneus upward, and it also causes knee flexion, bringing the leg backwards as it pulls on the femur. If you can see right here, there's a wide, broad tendon here that comes to the calcaneus. This is commonly known as the Achilles tendon, but it is technically known more as the tendocalcaneus. And all the muscles back here will connect to the calcaneus through this tendocalcaneus. Underneath the gastrocnemius, we have a muscle called the soleus, right there. It begins on the tibia and the fibula, underneath, and will insert through that tendocalcaneus to the calcaneus, right there. If we remove one of the heads of the gastrocnemius, we're going to find a couple other muscles. What we'll see here is this long tendon here that will connect to a very small muscle right here. This is known as the plantaris. It begins on the lateral epicondyle of the femur and will insert into the calcaneus, again through that tendocalcaneus, right there. Its action, as suggested by its name, it's the plantar flexion of the foot. So that's the plantaris. Further going even deeper, we find this muscle here, which is called the popliteus. It begins again on the lateral epicondyle of the femur and will come around and insert into the tibia. There. Its action is simply to flex in the knee, pulling the leg back this way. If we remove this complex of the gastrocnemius and the soleus, we're going to find further muscles that are attached more closely to the tibia and fibula. And if we begin here on the medial malleolus of the tibia, we're going to find three muscles there. We're going to find one tendon there, the next one here for the next muscle, and the third one there. The way that we commonly remember this is through going from the medial malleolus. We call this one Tom, this one Dick, and this one Harry. So Tom, Dick, and Harry. Tom stands for this muscle right here, which is the tibialis posterior. It comes underneath the next muscle and surfaces on the back right here in the middle. Its origin up here is the tibia and the fibula, and it will continue down this way and insert into the tarsals. Its action as it pulls is plantar flexion and inversion, bringing the toe of the foot closer in. So plantar flexion and inversion. The next one, if we start from here, Tom, then Dick, this one is the flexor digitorum longus. It begins on the tibia and will continue out to the distal phalanx of the toes. That is what's called digitorum, because it actually flexes the toes. Again, it begins right here on the tibia and into the phalanges. The last one that we have here is the furthest out, hairy, and this is the flexor hallucis longus. Hallucis stands for big toe, and it will begin right here on the lateral side on the fibula and will insert into the distal phalanx of the big toe, further down the toe. And it flexes that distal phalanx, it flexes the big toe. And those are all the muscles that we'll talk about here from the posterior leg.